In this video, I answer your questions about every popular protein myth.
Should I eat casein protein before bed?
The theory here is that consuming a slow digesting protein source before bed, like casein powder or a dairy food source, is going to lead to increased muscle protein synthesis while you're sleeping. Now, this may help you build slightly more muscle or retain muscle more effectively in a deficit, but compared to everything else you could be doing, having your macros where they are, keeping training intensity high, recovering, hydrating, eating vegetables, 150 other things, it's probably unnecessary. So I'm fine with it, not necessary.
Everyone says to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but I just can't eat that much.
So I totally understand, and I hear this all the time with my coaching clients. 1 gram per pound of body weight is popular advice in like the fitness and bodybuilding community. But for someone who is a little bit higher body fat percentage, 35 to 55, getting 1 gram per pound of body weight is really, really hard, particularly women who have naturally higher body fat levels. So what I suggest is aiming for 1 gram per pound of lean mass, okay? If you don't know what that is, body weight minus fat weight. So if we take a woman who's like 5'5", 180 pounds, for example, and doesn't have a ton of lean mass, she's really gonna struggle to get 180 grams of protein. But she could eat closer to 110 or 115 grams of protein and be absolutely fine.
Mike, I don't want huge muscles. Why do I need protein?
Eating a lot of protein doesn't build muscle. Eating adequate protein in a calorie surplus when you're strength training very intentionally and with a lot of intensity over a period of time, that builds muscle. Like, there are guys who spend weeks or months or years trying to add mass that can't and that never get happy where they are. So by accidentally eating a little bit too much chicken breast, I promise you're not gonna build muscle.
Hey Mike, do you recommend protein shakes?
Protein shakes aren't necessarily substantially better or worse than whole food sources. The value in shakes is that they're convenient, they're generally fairly low in carbs and fat, and they're priced more affordably than most lean protein sources. So, do I recommend shakes? Yes.
But what if I'm not working out? Then taking a shake makes no sense, right?
So first, you don't take a protein shake. They aren't anabolic steroids and you're not a pro wrestler. You drink a protein shake. Now, that being said, your body needs protein whether or not you're strength training. And just like you would eat chicken breast whether or not you work out, it's fine to use protein powder to hit your protein goals whether or not you work out. That's it, bro.
I heard you only absorb 30 grams of protein in one sitting.
So this is a common myth that stems from the fact that 30 grams of protein is enough to sufficiently stimulate muscle protein synthesis, or eating more than 30 grams in a sitting doesn't necessarily enhance growth or recovery there. That being said, to say that you can't absorb more than 30 grams of protein doesn't make any sense. Your body still uses those nutrients, you still digest them, they don't go straight through you, it just takes a little longer. Plus, what are you gonna do? Order a half serving of chicken? Please.
Can you talk about timing of protein after lifting weights?
So recently it's become popular to make fun of the guy who rushes to the locker room post-workout to slam his shake. There's been research that has shown that anabolic post-workout window isn't like 30 seconds after you're done training. But at the same time, there are also studies that show if you're fasted pre-workout, that the timing of that post-workout protein does in fact matter. So is it necessary to have a post-workout shake? Don't go canceling your dinner with your girlfriend because it doesn't fit your macros, because you have to have 50 grams of protein and 120 grams of dextrose in your post-workout shake. But at the same time, if you just got done training and your options are go home and cook dinner in an hour and a half, or get your protein plus carb right now, I would have a shake.
Is quinoa a good source of protein?
No, it's not. It has 8 grams of protein in 250 calories, so roughly 12 or 13% of those calories are coming from protein. Nuts are also not a good source of protein. Chia seeds are also not a good source of protein. Anything the hipster dude who's a copywriter in your creative department tells you his favorite protein sources are, probably bad sources of protein. Lean meats, lean fish, lean dairy, lean red meat are all good protein sources. And when I say good, I'm not referring to protein quality. What I actually mean and what I assume you want is quite a bit of protein while keeping calories relatively low. So few tag-along carbs and fats in those foods. There's nothing inherently bad with this. I'm just trying to explain what you're looking for. All right, this graphic I'm about to throw up on the screen will probably be helpful to you also, so enjoy that.
Doesn't protein hurt your kidneys?
I actually have a friend who is a scientist of sorts that can answer this question better than I can.
Oh, hello. I'm New York Times bestselling author John Romanello, but I'm not just an author. I'm also a board-certified bro scientist. And like you, I have concerns about kidney health. Now you might be wondering, is too much protein bad for my kidneys? Cut that shit out, bro. It's not. And I'm going to tell you why people think that it is. You see, there's a substance that comes about as the result of digesting protein called creatinine, not to be confused with creatine, which I hope you're taking. Creatinine is also present in the body whenever there is kidney stress. It's a sign of kidney dysfunction. So, I can see how people got to this erroneous conclusion. If creatinine is a sign of kidney stress, and it is also a byproduct of digesting high protein and resultant of high protein diets, then one might assume that high protein diets lead to kidney stress. Alas, this is not true. This substance, creatinine, is simply present in both cases, but one does not necessarily equal the other. Correlation, as they say, is not causation. So, please, don't worry about your kidneys. Eat your protein, kids. And after all, who are you going to listen to? Some jacked idiot in your gym or the jacked idiot in this video? Thanks for listening. Back to you, Mike.
So wait, if a food is a good protein source, but has other macros in it too, should I count those as well?
Yes, you should count the proteins, carbs, and fats in any food that you eat. So if we think back to that Venn diagram, even if something was listed in the protein section, like protein powder, the tag along the few grams of carbs and maybe a little bit of fat in there, you should count that in your macros. Unless you're not counting your macros and you're just eating massive quantities of ice cream, in which case, I fully support that.
All right, can you just tell me how much protein I should eat?
So I'm going to answer this, but know that I'm intentionally being fairly vague and broad because the answers depend on many factors, such as the size of your surplus or deficit, how much you like protein, just a lot of factors. And I'm also about to throw some numbers at you. It's going to get a little nerdy, so bear with me. If you are trying to lose body fat while retaining muscle mass, somewhere between 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of lean body mass is a good range for you. If you want to build muscle, I would aim for 1 gram per pound of body weight. That's like the consensus of most studies. And the reason I recommend based on body weight for muscle gain rather than lean body mass is because if you're in a position to build muscle, you're already fairly lean. Like you shouldn't start a bulk above 13 or 14%. And lastly, if you just want to maintain, if you're happy where you are, you can get away with much lower protein, probably as low as 0.6 or 0.7 grams per pound of lean mass. Thank you so much for watching this, you guys. If you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor and either like or dislike. If you hated the video, if you watched all 20 minutes or whatever it is and you're like, this dude sucks, dislike it, because either of those actions is going to give me SEO juice. All right, see ya.